everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. Today I have to share with you a childhood favorite. This is going to be one of the most perfect summer desserts that you've ever had if you've never had one. And if you've had one, you know what I'm talking about. Today we're going to share with you Jello cake. I can't wait to show you how this all comes together. Today we are going to make one of my childhood favorites. Growing up in the 70s, Jello was everything. Literally. Jello salad, Jello dessert, Jello with whipped cream, and Jello cake. And today that's what I'm making for you is Jello cake. Jello cake is a delicious, refreshing, summertime dessert. Really, you can have it all year, but my mom mostly made it in the summer because it was easy and it was cool and delicious. Jello cake is one of my very favorites from when I was a kid. You can make this any flavor you like, but what I've done is you're going to want to prepare regular box cake mix, whatever is your favorite brand. Y'all know my favorite brand is Duncan Hines. This is a yellow Duncan Hines cake mix prepared according to the box instructions. So it has a cup of water, a third of a cup of oil, and 3 eggs, and just baked in a 9x13 pan. And then I let it cool completely. And then I took this big fat skewer and I just made several holes into the cake. That's one of the secrets here. You want to make sure you have a lot of holes in the cake because that's where we're going to be ready to receive the Jello part of this deliciousness. I have 1 3-ounce box of orange flavored Jello or gelatin. It doesn't matter if you use the brand name or the store brand. I have 1 cup of very hot water. You can use boiling water, but the water comes out of my tap so hot that it's hot enough to dissolve this. What the trick here is, you want to make sure that you dissolve all that Jello powder and all that sugar. And this is a great cake to make with your kids. Get them involved because there's a lot of like pouring and poking and spreading, because we're going to spread some whipped topping on top of this cake after we pour the Jello in. And the way I see it is, a lot of times people will tell you to use 2 cups of very hot water to dissolve this, but then you have to wait for it to cool. But I use a cup of hot water, and after we are pretty sure that everything is nice and dissolved in there, we're going to add a cup of cold water. Now when you make Jello just to make Jello, you know it doesn't set up immediately. You have to put it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. So it's just the right temperature to pour over our cooled cake and to get the ball rolling. This is also going to help it cool down a lot quicker once you put it in the fridge. It's also going to allow us to put the whipped cream topping directly on top of the cake sooner. Now, and you know I have this in a measuring cup with a pour spout, but honestly, I find the best way to do this is to take your little gravy ladle and just gently distribute the Jello evenly across the top of the cake. Just make sure that you evenly distribute all of your Jello liquid. This is also a really economical cake to make, and everybody loves it. And you can make this, like I said, with any flavor Jello you like. Today we're using orange because we kind of want to go for an orange creamsicle kind of theme here. But I made one the other day just to make sure I remembered how to make it. And I used raspberry Jello because raspberry is one of Rick's favorite flavors. And get down to the bottom, just pour all the rest of that in there. And then, this is not too warm at all. We can just go ahead and put the whipped topping on the top of the cake. Now, I have used homemade whipped topping. I used heavy whipping cream and powdered sugar, and you know, just a pretty basic recipe. 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, a half a cup of powdered sugar, or less if you want to have it a little bit less sweet. And I'm just going to take my offset spatula. You can use a butter knife or whatever you have within reach. Just spread this whipped topping evenly over the top. Now, just because I used homemade whipped cream doesn't mean you'd have to. I just do not really like Cool Whip that much, but there are alternatives. You can use True Whip, or you can make your own like I have here. But if you want to use Cool Whip, you go right ahead. That is just not my favorite thing. And I think originally my mom did use Cool Whip on this. And I have stabilized my whipped cream with some Ultra Gel or instant clear gel. So if you have that on hand, 1 tablespoon of instant clear gel for every cup of whipping cream that you have used for your topping, and you'll be good to go. This will help it stay nice and firm, and it won't melt into your cake as it's cooling. Once we get this all spread in here, you're just gonna go ahead and pop a lid on this. I have the lid that came with the pan, and we're gonna refrigerate this for at least a couple of hours before we slice into it. Once this is ready to come out and slice, I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, there you have it. Our Jello cake, I kept mine in the refrigerator for less than an hour because I really wanted to get this video done for you guys. So you'll be sure and keep yours in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. 4 hours is better, and tomorrow it's gonna be the most perfect because you really, really want that gelatin to set. And mine is not 100% set, but it's enjoyable nonetheless. So as you can see, you can tell where the orange Jello went into the cake and the whipped topping. It looks really delicious, and you know what has to happen now, right? Rick's gonna have to taste it.
If I have to.
You have to. So here we go. You can see, full of orange goodness. It's gonna taste a little bit like creamsicle-esque. What do you think, honey?
Good.
And that is how you make a Jello cake. Super simple, super delicious, perfect for carrying to a barbecue, picnic, or potluck. And everyone is gonna love this. Just be sure and keep it in the fridge until you're just ready to go. And if possible, keep it on some ice if you can, because you definitely want this one to stay cold. So I hope you give this Jello cake a try sometime soon, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.